Hi, welcome back everybody, it's Mike Newton down here at Lytham Golf Academy. Got a new product to review for you today in this video, and it's the Wilson D7 Forged Iron. So we saw D7 come out late 2018 and carried on through 2019. Fantastically popular product for a lot of golfers who strive for real distance and forgiveness. So they've now put it into a forged head package, which looks really nice. So I'm going to review this for you here. A lot of tech happening in the club, which we're going to go through. Obviously give you my personal feedback of the looks and the feel and performance, as well as backing it up with some numbers from GC Quad. So just before we jump into the video, if you're enjoying the content I'm putting out, then you haven't subscribed, then please consider doing so. And while you're in there, hitting that subscribe button, also ring that bell, so as soon as a video lands on the channel, you'll be one of the very first ones to watch it. Also, hook up on my social media platforms, both Instagram and Twitter, and both handles there are at MN Golf Coach. Okay, so new offering from Wilson, D7, which we, as I say, we've seen previously, but they now put it in a forged head package. So they're trying to deliver a bit more of that tour level sort of appearance there, but obviously with some serious technology under the bonnet in terms of trying to get as much ball speed as possible. For me, these types of irons are becoming more and more popular because a lot of golfers are wanting distance, they're wanting that forgiveness, but at the same time they want that nicer sort of shaping of the head, maybe not that huge offset, massive thick top line, huge wide sole, and also they're liking sometimes that feel of the forged iron, so a little bit more desirable of that, maybe that better players club in a way, but they've got that forgiveness package if they're not quite getting that strike on point. And this is basically what this D7 is offering. So what we've got happening in the head, we've got the power holes or the power slots in the bottom. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 there that are split, which look a bit radical on the bottom of the club face there, but really that's helping with flexing. So as you're missing that strike low in that club face, which a lot of golfers tend to do, we've got some flexing happening there, which is going to help to keep ball speed up on those missed hits. We've got power chamber in the back of the head. We've got forged head, as we said. So presenting that down by the golf ball, it's a really nice shape, to be honest. First impressions, I was quite impressed with it. And it hasn't got a huge amount of offset. So it's ticking a box for me straight away. Obviously, top edge is more medium to slightly thick on that top edge, but the high polished sort of toe heel section gives it that feel of that better players club. You know, thinking about the staff model blade irons, they look absolutely stunning, that high polished finish, and this oozes a little bit of that quality of that better player sort of bracket of a golf club. But we know we've got a bit of backing behind the club. So I'm going to hit some shots here. Now, unfortunately, I've had a little bit of a glitch with my simulator, so I can't show you ball flight. I can't seem to get it working. I need to have a little look at that. But I have got numbers obviously coming from quad, so I'll show you the numbers at the end. Just haven't got the ball flight, unfortunately, for this video. Okay, let's get this first one hit. So it looks great behind the ball. As I say, it sits lovely. Very classic look, even though it's just got that slightly thicker edge to it. Oh, and that's a beautiful shot. Yeah, very nice. High towering ball flight. Pretty much decent distance, just fraction up that left hand side. So this is a 6 iron that I'm hitting here, which is 27.5 degrees of loft. 7 iron comes in at 30.5. So they are in that stronger bracket as you'd expect from this type of club. But again, you've got that little bit of that forged, obviously, feel, and a little bit more of that tour inspiring look. Oh, that's lovely. So I didn't actually get all of that. That's flown lovely, very neutral, nice high flight. So that spun around that 5,000 mark on that particular shot. So that's not bad for that particular loft 6 iron. Sometimes you think would tend to spin around that sort of 5.5 area. So for a stronger lofted iron, that's not a bad spin number at all. So we know we're going to get a bit of stopping power there, and we're also going to get stopping power through the height. You know, as it flies nice and high, we've got that descent angle, which is also going to help it get a bit of control when it comes into land. Yeah, again, lovely, really nice. The feel of it, it's forged. I wouldn't say it feels buttery soft like, for instance, in my staff model irons, but I think when you start putting different materials in and maybe sort of moving weight around, sort of creating like pockets and cavities and stuff like that, there's always going to be a trade-off, I think, with acoustics, isn't there? Just sounds a little bit sort of clickier Wouldn't really put it, again, that buttery sort of forged feel. But it does feel nice. It feels explosive, it feels powerful, which is what it's all about, really. Okay, there's them power holes are going to be kicking in there. That was a little bit low in that face. That's where those slots in the bottom of the club are just going to try and help to keep that ball speed up. It'll be interesting to see what ball speed that one actually gave there. Oh, that's a good strike. That's a lovely strike, lovely flight. Does feel very, very sort of easy to get that ball up and away. So it's an 8620 carbon steel chamber here. We've got the power chamber in the back of the club also, which is again trying to help create ball speed, but also help a little bit with that sound and feel off the club head as much as you sort of can. Again, I think it's just a little bit clicky, you know, than a traditional blade. So sometimes we look at the word forge, you just think, oh, it's going to absolutely feel as soft as anything, but I don't always see that in these types of cavity irons. But that's beautiful. That is really nice. Can't fault that. Be interesting to look at some numbers. Going to hit one more shot and then we'll delve into the numbers. Oh yeah, beautiful. Lovely. Okay, D7 forge, looks good, feels pretty good, looks to be flying very, very nicely, but let's go and look at some numbers and see how it's actually performing. Okay, so let's look at some numbers there with the D7 forge. So we're seeing ball speed there averaging at 127.5, launching at 15.2, so a little bit low in that launch. I did get a couple a little bit low in that club face, to be honest, but did peak out at 32 yards, so there's plenty of actual peak height on that. Looking at spin number there, averaging at 5,038, so I think a decent number there for that type of lock. Bear in mind this is a 6 iron I'm hitting and it's 27.5 degrees, it's on that stronger side. That's not a bad number at all, so I'm confident I've got some stopping power here. You can see that end column there, the descent angle at 45.6 degree as it comes into land. So the combination of that descent angle with that peak height and that spin, more than confident that's going to get some control as it comes into land. So averaging distance there, you can see at 184 carry distance, and difference running from 180 to 189, so front to back dispersion of 9 yards there, which obviously is going to come through my ball striking differences from those types of shots. Now this particular club I've got in here, or the shaft I've got in there I was hitting, was the KBS S-Taper Light 95, so it is in that lighter bracket and it's a stiff, so I would probably like to see an X in there for me personally, so maybe not quite the perfect shaft for me. So maybe just sort of dial that shaft in and probably get some sort of slightly tighter sort of dispersion numbers there. Okay guys, so there we go. There's the new Wilson D7 forged iron coming out for 2020. Very nice iron. I think the run on the back of the success of the D7 iron, which as I say was a massive success for them. So C300 range will probably get, I think it's going to get phased out, and this D7 is going to sort of take over, and this is the forged option to replace the C300 forged. So post comments down below, let me know your thoughts on that. Availability of these, as standard, comes from a 4-to pitching wedge, but through custom order you can get the option of adding a 3 iron in there and also a gap wedge at the other end through a custom order. So plenty of options there, and obviously there's lots of different shafts as well as graphite that you can put into these. So obviously go and see a good fitter to go through that process. But yeah, comment down below, let me know your thoughts on the Wilson D7 forged iron. Wilson as a brand, sometimes a little bit the underdog, but make some cracking stuff. Love to know your thoughts as always. So if you enjoyed the video, please hit that like button, hit the thumbs up. Follow them up social media platforms, both Instagram and Twitter, and also try and hit that subscribe button if you can. Very much appreciate your support. Trying to grow subscribers as much as I can. It allows me to get more content like this out to you as soon as it's available. Okay, thanks so much for watching, and hopefully we'll catch up with you all very soon.